What's going on, guys? It's Themightydart13 back again, and this is my Singapore Grand Prix Formula 1 video. Now, obviously it was a mad race, obviously as usual. Got my notes on my phone, because I am ruthlessly efficient, in quotation marks. So, yeah, before the race we had a lot of news brought out, well, before the race anyway. So obviously some of the news, excuse the motion sickness. We had McLaren have divorced Honda. The engine partnership will not go beyond the beyond the end of this season, and by this, basically Honda are moving to Toro Rosso, which has triggered Carlos Sainz moving to Renault, as Red Bull are going to go to to Honda engines for the end of the 2019 season, sorry. So basically the whole thing of Honda have now left, like McLaren and Honda is no longer a thing. McLaren are now going to have Renault engines, so they're going to be McLaren Renault, which is interesting. Do I think it's going to do them any better? Well, obviously Renault have had history with Alonso, obviously Alonso winning 2 championships with them, but yeah, overall I think personally it's what's best for McLaren, but personally going to Renault when they've not been fantastic, you could look at that and say, well, maybe. You know, really you could say, how good are Honda going to be? And how good are Renault going to be for the two guys, you know, for 2 teams? But as for stepping away from that, I mean, my personal opinion, Sainz is a great driver for Renault. Honda need to pull their heads out their asses, frankly, although they've come out and said that working with Honda or working with Toro Rosso is like fine dining or something. I can't remember the exact quote, but basically they've said McLaren and Honda were very, very hard to work with, which, I mean, it's not very professional considering how much history you've got together, but overall disappointing for McLaren. Honda, it was a shame. I honestly thought they'd do better, but they didn't. So, as I've said, stepping away from those guys, you've had Sergio Perez will race for Force India for 2018. So he's been confirmed, he's signed a contract, which is good. Perez, good driver. Ocon, I believe, has also signed a deal to stay at Force India for the season. So again, very good. But yeah, overall, very much good deals. Force India have obviously confirmed their driver lineup, which is fantastic. Now, onto the race itself, and the main talking point was there was an astronomical crash between the 2 Ferraris and Max Verstappen on the first lap. Basically what happened was Vettel was a bit slow off the start. Verstappen had a reasonably decent start, and Raikkonen went fast. Was like a rocket off the line, and he went straight there and was just like in the thing. But basically what's happened was Vettel has started to pull across in front of Verstappen, caught Verstappen. Verstappen's gone into Raikkonen, who then has gone into Vettel. Vettel's carried on. Raikkonen and Verstappen have both crashed out, and sadly Fernando Alonso has been dragged into this as well. So Alonso, who would have been up to 3rd and said that they could have had a podium today, he was doing really well. His race was over. Basically McLaren lost the telemetry after the crash. Vettel managed to carry on for a corner, but he had a massive hole in his side pod, and he had stuff pumping out the back of his car, like coolant and whatever else, and he ended up facing backwards, and the Ferrari boys just said, stop the car, you've had it. Which is a shame, but then again, somewhat disappointing. Like, it's disappointing for the neutral in that remark. Lewis now obviously went on to win the race. He's now got a 28-point lead in the championship, which again, if he has a poor couple of races, it's a race win for Vettel, and it's back to 3 points. Ricciardo came second and Bottas came third. Ricciardo was balancing car troubles all the way through, and I believe Bottas had a problem with his water bottle, so he wasn't as fresh. But overall, what did I think of the race? I thought it was good. Special mention has to go to Carlos Sainz, who came 4th. I believe it even at one point of the race he was a lap down, so to finish 4th was an amazing result. His best result in the sport, which is fantastic, so well done, Carlos. But overall, what did I think of the race? I watched the race live. Obviously, I had Stefan Grandad sat with me at the time. But it was a fantastic race. It was one of the better ones, and I think the thing is Singapore was a better race than Monaco, for example, which is another street track. And that is because you can actually overtake to an extent. But I mean, also driving-wise, you had Jolyon Palmer who finished in the points as well. Hulkenberg retired. Jolyon Palmer, who it has been confirmed now, has not got a drive for next season. Renault have dumped him. And the thing is, and you ask any Formula 1 fan, this has been coming. He's not been good enough this year, but there's also rumours circulating now that he's going to go to Williams. And I think I can safely say if Williams were to sign Palmer for either one of their drivers, Stroll's been good this year, or Massa, who's part of the furniture of Formula 1 in that way, and it is a good driver, it would just be a poor decision all round, because Palmer is not good enough, frankly, to be at a team like Williams. You know, if anywhere, Sauber. You know, he's not a good driver at all, but then again, he's driving around in a multi-million-pound F1 car, and I'm sat in my bedroom bitching about Formula 1 drivers. So, you know. But anyway, my overall rating for the race is a solid sort of 7 out of 10. As for my driver of the day, Lewis drove very, very well. But I'm going to go Carlos Sainz, because finishing 4th in the Toro Rosso was fantastic. Yes, as usual, it was luck, but he did well. So, yeah. As for my top 3 prediction for the next race, I'm going to go Lewis, Vettel, Bottas. So, fingers crossed, Lewis will qualify on pole and then go lights to flag, because I really want Lewis to win his championship. But yeah, guys, that's all. You know, thanks for watching. Sorry this video's out a bit late. I had a bit of a hectic weekend, so it was a bit, meh. But thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. Next F1 video will be out in a couple of weeks' time, obviously, because that's the way the calendar goes. So, yeah. So, thanks for watching, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one.